Okay, don't mind the shirt. I just got home from a long day and I'm chilling. I'm comfortable, but we need to talk about Shogun episode 5 and 6. There's a lot to talk about. I didn't do a review episode on 6 alone because I felt like it wasn't enough that happened, so I waited for episode 7. So now we'll go over both episodes. Yes, I will be talking about spoilers in this, so if you haven't seen those episodes yet, definitely go watch them and then put this in your watch later so you can come back and talk to all of us about it. So in episode 6, we learn about Mariko and her past along with Ochiba. And we learned what I was questioning, was Mariko married off? Yes, we finally find out that yes, she was married off. She never really wanted to get married to him in the first place. Then the other big question going in episode 6 was how many people were left in Toranaga's army in his camp? And they never really give a clear number. They just say a lot of men were lost. And you can definitely tell they were, but it's very unclear how many men he loses. They make it seem like he can still go to war and still be fine. Then we also get a lot more of Blackthorn and Mariko and their relationship. A lot of times their interactions can be seen as kind of like nuance because it's really hard to put together their feelings and what they're actually feeling. They do this a couple times in episode 6. The first time is when Mariko is praying, and then Blackthorn is saying the Lord's Prayer back to her, but talking over her. I couldn't tell if he was trying to bother her or be funny or if he was being serious. And then they never elaborate on this later or talk about it. It just kind of happens. And I was confused on Blackthorn's purpose or reason for doing that. Then there's Toranaga disrupting what he can also tell, that Mariko is catching feelings for Blackthorn. He knows this is wrong, so he wants to put a stop to it. And I was like, no, I don't want them to put a stop to it. But there's really no way this can work out. And I wonder how Mariko will get out of this relationship. The only way I can see is if her husband, Barunto or something like that, I think that's his name, gets killed, or if she just runs off with Blackthorn at the end of this. I didn't read the books or anything, so I don't know how the story is going to go. But Toranaga is trying to put this wedge in between Mariko and Blackthorn by making him go to a courtesan and sleep with her. And then we get this really intense scene where it leaves you, the audience, to kind of put together what Mariko is feeling, because you can tell she has so many thoughts and emotions going on in her head during that scene when the courtesan is basically talking to Mariko. I think she's trying to make her feel better, but I think she's also trying to help Mariko lock back in, focus, so that she doesn't get killed. That's pretty much the consequence if you get caught cheating. Then we get more insight of Mariko's husband and the way he feels, and that he's kind of putting two and two together. He can see the way Mariko is talking to Blackthorn. He can see like their intimate relationship, how she acts around him, and he's like, wow, she never opened up or act like that with me. And he explains how he waited for her all that time to open up and start acting normal, but she just never did. And now he sees the difference with Blackthorn, and he's just getting really agitated. Initially, I thought that Toranaga was going to die because he's too honorable to launch Crimson Sky, but turns out I was wrong because they actually end up launching that. But in episode 7, it's going to backfire. But before we get to episode 7, I do want to say my favorite thing from episode 6 was the brothel scene when Blackthorn went to the courtesan with Mariko because Toranaga made her go. Every word is written so carefully to make you think. And the scene is so like tense, kind of sexy without there being any sexual things happening. It was very like passionate, you know? But nothing was really happening. Just a bunch of emotions and thoughts. Very good writing, very good directing, how they're able to pull this stuff off. Episode 7, we finally meet Toranaga's brother, Sakai. I believe that's how you say his name. I'm sorry if it's wrong. But he's immediately betrayed, and I kind of saw that coming. I knew that when they brought up he hasn't gone to see his brother in a long time, and they kind of had some problems in the past. I was like, oh, this isn't going to turn out good. And they did a good job this whole episode with making tension. Like even in that room where they were all gathered and drinking and talking about the past, you can feel the tension, and then you can feel the atmosphere and tension throughout the rest of this episode with the music. The music is so immersive. That's the word I was looking for. The music is so immersive. and it makes everything that much more tense and grim, and it adds to this slow creep up of war and tension building up. The daunting music creates like this sense of dread and uneasiness. Those are the words that describe this perfectly. And it never really stops either, but it never distracts you. It just makes you more immersed in the episode. Another thing that caught my attention in this episode was the brothel owner, Jin. Yeah, the lady that's over all of the people in her brothel. And she's also very well versed in strategy. She's very smart. She's able to put things together. She's almost like on this equal playing field with Toranaga without even being involved for real. I think it makes him respect her more and her wishes. I feel like he will do what she asked if he comes out on top after this war is over. But Taro comes out, Mariko's wife, he comes out and he's even more blunt now. He's straight up like, I know that she has feelings for him. Pretty much this is what he's saying. I know that he's accusing her, but he's like, well, you know that means you have, Toranaga tells him, he's like, you know that means you have to end your wife's life. And Buntaro clearly doesn't want to do that. I just low-key feel bad for the dude, but at the same time I don't. Because he is a douchebag, man, beating on her and stuff and treating her terribly. He kind of deserves it. So the biggest question going into the next episode is, what the heck is Toranaga's plan? How is he going to get out of this? Is it the way that Jin said, the brothel owner? She kind of put it together, and maybe that's the only way out of this. Because they won't kill out Toranaga this quick. Not at least, if he's going to die, he's at least going to die at the end, right? Then the big thing that happens at the end, Toranaga's son dies. And at first I was rooting for him. You know, I wanted him to kill Sakai, but he's just so clumsy and weak, and he did not know how to use his sword correctly. And the way he dies too, he just trips him and his head lands on the back of a rock. It was just like, wow, I did not expect that. I actually thought Sakai was going to die. I thought he was going to get to him and stab him eventually, but nope. He's just dead. And Toranaga's reaction to this, I cannot wait to see it. Is he going to get like depressed and start giving up for real? Or is it going to make him more enraged and want to go and finish this war for real and actually come out on top? I can't wait, because he's such an interesting character. I can't wait to see what his reaction will be. But yeah, this story has such a great balance of characters and little stories, and everybody has their parts to play, and they divide it up so well. It's just this entire world that's written and directed so well. The visuals are always great as usual. Mariko and Blackthorn's relationship is so romantic but nuanced at the same time. It's like filling the gaps, but at the same time you understand. It's very weird. I've never watched a story that's done this, and I really think this is something special. You guys need to be putting everybody onto this show. I know this is supposed to be only one season, but man, if they could extend this even further, that would be dope. And the last thing I want to say is those hot springs look really nice. I've never been in one, and I really want to one day. They make them look really comfortable. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll be making another review next week if there's enough things that happen in the next episode. And I hope to see you guys there. Peace.